So our drawing has pretty much clean shape, but we still need to clean some of these areas like this one, so I'll just trim it here. All right, and now we can add the details. So I'll now start by adding the stairs, and I'll go to this line tool. Okay, and let's start from this point somewhere over here. So I'll take the reference of that point. All right, and now after an approximate distance of 1 foot, I'll just click downwards and let's enter 6 inches and then click here, and then again 1 foot and downwards 6 inches, and then here 1 foot and again downwards 6 inches, then 1 foot, and again I'll just join it with this one here. So that's it. So we have this profile of the stair. Let's now go to line tool again, and this time I'll add the second one here. So I'll just take the reference of that point and I'll make a slant line which looks like this. All right, so there we have it. Now I'll add rest of the drawings here, and to do that I'll actually use a rectangle tool. So now I'll click on this point and I'll make a rectangle which is approximately of this height and this thin. Okay, so it should be just like this. Again, I'm using approximate distance here, not any exact distance in this case. All right, so now we have done this. Let's now click on this one and let's make some copies of this. So I'll go to copy and I'll just copy it up to a particular distance, maybe up to this, and again here. So these are the two copies which I've made, one at this midpoint and one here at the end point. And let's select this one and let's make another copy of this. So I'll go to this point and I'll copy it here. And now we need to extend it up to this rectangle. So I'll go to extend, press enter, and let's extend this line up to that rectangle. There we have it. So this is now properly extended up to that rectangle. Let's now go to trim and let's trim the part which should not be visible, which are these portions. Actually, this is also something which should not be visible. This is the area of the stair that we'll use hatch to shade. Okay, and we'll just shade these areas. So this is what we are going to get finally. Actually, we just left one part here, so I'll just clean that one as well. All right, so that's now properly cleaned up here. You can see it here clearly, and our drawing is pretty much complete except a few small changes and few small additions. So let's add the chimney here. So that will be the final detail, and for that I'll once again use the rectangle tool. So let's now click on this point, and here again I'm just using the approximation, and as you know that this is the side where we have the kitchen, so that's where we are adding the chimney. So again I'm using this approximate distance, and let's go to rectangle tool and let's make this rectangle just like this, and let's move it. So I'll select its midpoint and move it on this midpoint. Let's select it, make a copy up to a particular distance. All right, let's add a line and let's add it somewhere over here. Let's make a mirror image, and that's it. We can actually add another line here just in the center, and if required you can actually make an offset of maybe 3 inches on both the sides, on this side as well as on this side, and now we can remove this one. All right, so that's it. So our chimney is also there, and if you need to actually change the height you can do that by using this stretch tool. So I'll maybe decrease its height a little bit up to this. Alright, so a lot of detail is already in the drawing. Let's add some railings and we are now good to go with that. So for adding the railings, I'll use Polyline tool. So I'll go to Polyline and I'll actually join the midpoint. So just make sure that you join the midpoints here of these rectangles. You can actually press Enter key to repeat the command. okay, and I'll select these 2 points and I'll join it like this. And also make sure that you join it from this point to this point, so not only from the top but also from the bottom. So just join it like this and repeat it for this complete side. So I'll go to midpoint. Oops, I just selected the end point. No, I need to select the midpoint, so I'll select the midpoint and I'll click on this midpoint, and again I'll select this midpoint, this one, and select the remaining midpoints and this midpoint, and obviously this midpoint. Okay, so up to this point it looks good. Now let's add some vertical bars here. For that I'll go to polyline again, and now I'll add the first bar somewhere over here like this. And here in this case I'll make multiple copies, and to do that I don't need to select any array or any other tool. You can do it directly with the copy tool. So I'll go to copy and I'll select this one, press enter, select this as the base point. Now instead of making a single copy, let's click on this array and let's add 28 as number of arrays. So we'll now have 28 bars that can be fitted within that area, but I'll select fit option now. So that will allow me to decide the maximum dimensions. So that will be something like this. And there we have it. So all the railings are there. Now you can simply copy them and you can just paste them right on this one. So I'll just make maybe select bunch of more these railings, and I'll select copy, select this point and just click somewhere over here. And we have it here, okay, properly placed with equal distances. And you can actually repeat the process for this side as well. So again, just make a copy, select the copy tool, select this one, and I'll just move it here. And now you can actually see that I've made some extra ones. So let's select these extra polylines and let's erase them so that you have only the required number of these polylines. And again, you can select these few here, and you can actually copy them to the last remaining side, which is here. And we have it here now. Again, some extras that can be removed. And here also go to polyline actually and just make these railings here. So you can press enter twice to repeat that command, and you can just join them like this and like this. Okay, so now we only need to do some cleanup work here also. So I'll go to trim, press enter. Let's do some cleanup. So this is the first thing that you need to remove. Then this one, obviously this needs to go, this one also, and this one as well. So that has actually cleaned our drawing pretty much. Okay, this is something that we need to take care of. Okay, so that's it. Now we need to add the thickness to these polylines, and that can be easily done with the help of width tool. So simply double click on any one of these polylines, maybe this one. So double click there and go to width option. Now enter the width. In this case, I'm entering a width of 2 inches and press enter, and just look at this. So the thickness is added here, and you can then copy this property to other polylines. So let's type MA, that is match properties command, press enter, select this polyline, okay, this one, and now copy this property on remaining railing. So I'll click on this one, then I'll click on this one, and then carefully click on this one, okay, and then this, and then this one, and this one, this, and this. That's it. All right, now we'll add the thickness to these ones also, and for that once again I'll double click on this one, and again I'll go to width, and let's add 1 inches and press enter. That's it, the thickness is now added. And now we can make multiple copies again of this thickness using the match properties command. So I'll type MA, press enter, and now I'll copy this one and I'll paste it on all the remaining ones. Actually, you can just make a window like this to copy all of these properties. Instead of clicking one by one, you can just make this kind of crossing window. Just make sure it avoids any contact with other polylines. Here we actually need to make it one by one. We cannot do it in one go. So I actually have to carefully select these lines. Actually, we have an overlapping one here, but that's not visible, so I'll just leave that. All right, here also we need to make the selection quite carefully. Again, this is the one that we need to select. We have two lines there. Here we have that one, and now we can actually select it like this. All right, so there we have it. So we have now added all of these railings and all. Now we can add, okay, we just left that one. So let's type MA, enter. Let's select any one of these and add the thickness here as well. All right, so now we have pretty much done everything here, and we now need to add the final touch, and that can be added with hatches. So I'll go to hatch, and I'll select this AR shake pattern. I'll select this area and this area. Now we need to change the scale actually in this case. So I'll change the scale to 0.2. Well, actually we need to change it further, so 0.05, that looks better, but I'll maybe change it to 0.03. let's see. Yes, that looks even better, so I'll just keep it that way. I'll keep it at 0.03. all right, let's click on close hatch creation, and before doing that we'll actually decrease the transparency here because it is actually completely opaque. To show the sense of depth, I'll actually reduce the transparency and I'll make it like 30% and close it. Now I'll go to hatch again and I'll select this area and I'll hatch it here, but with full transparency, with zero transparency actually. Okay, that's it. So because this area is in the front, this is in the back, so to give that solid look, I have selected this kind of transparency here in this case. And if you want to increase this transparency, you can select the pattern once again and you can actually increase it, just dial it up a little bit further to maybe 44, and that looks even better. Now let's add the brick pattern. So I'll go to hatch again and let's select the normal brick pattern. So that's the one which I'm going to select, and I'll select the areas where I'm going to put it. All right, actually, you know, I just don't want to put it on this area, so I just need to remove it. So I'll select remove and I'll just remove it from this area. I'll add these patterns only up to these areas. Now we also have pattern here. You can actually add it here manually, or you can hide them all and then add them and then bring them back. So that's what we're going to do next, but for now I'll just increase the hatch transparency to the same value, approximately 40, and yep, that will do. Okay, 39, and then I'll close it. Again, we have a lot of these polylines, so let's select them all here. Okay, and let's select all of them here, and well, that's not needed, or maybe we will need it, so I'll just select the ones which are needed. So these three and these two, and here also we'll just need these polylines only, so I'll just select them, whichever is needed here. Okay, and now right click, isolate, hide objects, so that will hide it all. Now we can again make an hatch pattern here, so I'll just make a pattern here and here, and you can see that the transparency is retained, the pattern is retained. So with the same pattern and everything, we are now able to make the hatch here like this. We can then close it, and once again you can bring it back, but before doing that I'll add the pattern here as well. So I'll go to hatch again, this area, then this area and this area, but the transparency is 0 in this case. Close hatch creation, let's right click, isolate, and end object isolation to bring everything back in the drawing area. Let's add the final details, and for that I'll go to hatch again, and now I'll add the concrete pattern. So this is the one which I'm going to use, AR concrete. Let's select this area and this area, carefully zoom into this and add it here as well. So these are the two areas also where you need to add it, and you can change the scale if you want, but I am pretty much happy with this scale, so I'll just press enter to finish this pattern. And let's add the last hatch pattern, and that will be the solid one. So once again, move up, select solid, and select this area. So that will add the hatch pattern on the complete stair here. Okay, and that's it. So we are now done with this. And this is our front elevation. So as you can see that I've used a lot of different tools for making this drawing, and a lot of different commands have been used. You can make it in your own way, and I've actually simplified this drawing a lot. Still, it took a long time to make this drawing, so you can add more details if you want. You can add as many details, you can use correct dimensions and everything to make it as detailed as possible. So if this drawing is clear to you, then don't forget to hit the like button, and if you have any questions related to this, then let me know in the comment box. And to get this drawing, you can click on the link in the description. And as always, thanks for watching.